Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Bookish Musings, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, and if you are returning, thanks for coming back. So in this video, I am going to be doing a channel reset. So it is the brand new year, 2026. Happy New Year to you all. I hope all your goals and wishes come true and everything you have planned for the new year. I have some personal goals. And I'm going to be talking about some channel or reading goals in this video, or like a channel reset, what to expect from my channel in 2026. Sharing my goals and how last year went as far as my YouTube channel and like my reading and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and briefly talk about 2025. I did reach 100 subscribers on this channel. I'm past that now. I don't know what my channel number is right now. I try to not look at that and just focus on my channel, honestly, and the people who do watch me and you know, enjoy my content. So I try to focus on that rather than the numbers, because if I focus on the numbers, I probably wouldn't have this channel, y'all. I probably, to be honest with you, I probably would not have this channel. So I'm just enjoying like the process of, you know, me sharing a little bit of my life, like in books and also like my fitness journey. So last year in 2025, I read a total of 32 to 33 books. Now I said 32 because that's what Goodreads said, but I don't know if I logged a book that I finished. So it may be 32 to 33. And so I'm someone who really doesn't care about the number. I'm amazed that I've read that many books in a year, because I don't think I've ever read 32, 33 books in any year, okay? And so to say that, my goal for 2026 for reading, like as far as the number, it's going to be one book. It's going to be one book, and I purposely set it at one number. That doesn't matter to me, because 2026, I'm trying to, you know, be more intentional with my reading, pick up books. I already do that now, but you know, more. I'm going to be doing that more, because I got distracted by a lot of books. You know, I watch a lot of people's channels. I am heavily influenced by all of the books that everybody else is reading. That 25 by 25 list just went out the door. I don't know how many books I read, probably maybe 5 or 6, honestly, 5 or 6, because I'm definitely a mood reader. So my goal is just one book. I'm just focusing on being an intentional reader, because it's not all about pressure. It's all about fun. Reading is supposed to be fun, relaxing, and so I don't want to put a metric on this hobby, reading, okay? So that's how I look at things. Okay, so what else can I talk about? My reading year 2025, like I mentioned in another video, it was very lackluster. I would say lackluster. I had a couple 5-star books that I absolutely loved, but they were all over the place and spur of the moment. You know, I guess that goes with being a mood reader. So I didn't really read that many like heartfelt, heart-wrenching books that really stimulated my mind. Not really. It was more entertaining. And while I do like reading entertaining books, and of course I'm a page turner girl, I still can find that in literary fiction or historical fiction, where my mind is stimulated, but it's also a page turner. I don't like boring books. I don't like boring and slow books. That just takes me out of the story, and I'll end up putting it down and never pick it back up. So going forward in 2026, I am purposely, even though I'll be mood reading, I'm not going to have a TBR per se. I'm going to be mood reading within the genre of books that I like. And I did do a video, I will link it up here, and I showed a few of the books or authors and things like that I was interested in 2026. So now I'm just going to talk about my most anticipated books. Is this book right here. This is The Street by Ann Petry. Ann Petry is one of the authors that I do want to read more from in 2026. Now, she's not going to be like a fixed or target author. I already have a few authors written down that I want to get into in 2026. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to overwhelm myself trying to read her whole catalog, but I'm definitely going to read another book besides this one, okay? But I won't be focusing on her specifically. So this is The Street by Ann Petrie. I have no idea what this book is about, and I don't want to know. I like to go into my books kind of blind, okay? So when I'm watching other people's reviews, I'll kind of skim the review because I don't want to, or their thoughts to kind of interfere with my thoughts about the book. But I'm looking forward to this. I bought this because of Chocolate Covered Pages. I have bought many books because of her. She really raved on about this book in a past video. And so I went out and bought it, and I love this edition. It looks so 20s. It looks so authentic. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this book. This is going to be scattered all over the place because I don't really have like a precise outline about what I wanted to talk about. So let's talk about book buying in 2026. I don't know. It's something about buying books. Reading books and buying books is definitely two different hobbies, and it's almost like an addiction. I know that sounds crazy. It's almost like an addiction just to have the book and you have no intentions of reading it. I mean, you do, but it's not pressing, right? Because you have so many books. And, you know, the way I look at things in general is that too much of anything is a bad thing, right? But does that apply to books? I don't think it applies to books because I like the fact that I can read whatever I want, right? Whatever I'm in the mood for, and if I have the book, I can just go on my shelf and pick it out. So I like the idea of having a lot of books, but I do not like the idea of wasting money. So I am going to reduce the amount of books that I am buying. I am going to monitor that, right? I do have a planner. I'm going to monitor how many books I buy in 2026 because I do not want to be buying more books than I'm reading. So I completely failed that goal. I know that was one of my goals, to read more than I'm buying. I completely failed that because I'm a slow reader and, you know, I read casually, right? There was no way I was going to meet that goal because, yeah, I have no explanation for why, you know, I bought the amount of books that I bought, but I did. And, you know, no regrets. But moving forward in 2026, I do want to deter that. And so this is my planner for 2026. I am going to be getting an insert where I'm going to be logging my books and logging my purchases in terms of books and stuff like that, to keep me aware of how much money I'm spending. If you watch a video that I did last year, it's funny saying last year, one of my goals, I mentioned like briefly in the video, you know, that I wanted to have my student loan paid down to either $5,000 to $8,000. And guess what I did? My student loan is like $8,000. I'm going to be paying that off in 2026, and I'm super excited, y'all. I'm super excited. I don't spend a whole lot of money on anything else, but I think books has just been consuming me for some reason. I don't buy a whole lot of clothes because, number one, I work from home, right? I live in gym and casual wear, right? I've just reduced like buying junk, and I'm getting ready to get rid of some things too, because I kind of want to live, with the exception of books, I think, because I like the idea of having books around me. With the exception of books, I'm going to I want to live like a more simplified life. I really do. I think that's going to really make a big difference in my like quality of life when I don't have junk, right? I have so much junk around me. Anyway, so this is my planner. I'm going to be tracking my books in this planner as far as my purchases and my reviews and stuff like that. And so this is an everything planner. I only have one like major planner, and I do like have like journals, right? I do have a workout journal that I write my exercises in. I have a health like notebook that I write doctor's appointments and stuff like that, and the results of tests and the results of the appointment. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I have. So being more intentional in my reading, right? Reading within the genres and the authors that I want to read versus getting distracted by books, frivolously picking up a book that I heard somebody talk about. So I do want to challenge my reading in 2026. I didn't read any classics, and I really do want to get into the classics. Not heavily, but I do want to read a few classics. And so I do intend on reading a classic. And I think I'm going to start with this one right here. This is Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. This is a classic. You probably have heard about this book. It's been around for a long time. It's actually a part of a either trilogy or, yeah, it is a part of an African trilogy, but I've never heard anybody talk about any of the other books. So I'm going to start with this one. It's a very short book. I have seen this book in every thrift store that I have gone to, and always was curious about it because I've heard people talk about it, but you know, I never picked it up. So this is going to be the first classic that I read because I think it's a necessary read. I like the subject matter. The next challenge is to read a big book, and I'm just gonna say one book, okay? I hope to at least read 2 books. When I say big book, I consider a big book over 450 pages. 450 pages is a lot. It's a lot. And so this is definitely a big book, A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And so I've been wanting to read this one for the longest. I've heard nothing but, I want to say, good reviews about this book, even though it's heavy. I heard it's really heavy about maybe loss, depression, drug use, the lives of a few friends and what's happening to them. This is a big book that I do want to get to. Will this be the book that I read? I don't know, but I'm just showing this one just as an example. All right, and so the last challenge is going to be Toni Morrison. So if you have watched any of my videos, you know I have tried, or I've mentioned that I would pick her book up, get maybe a chapter in, and put it down for some reason. Her books require your full attention. I don't think that you could listen to her books on audio. I did try to do that, and it just did not work for me. It may work for you, but it did not work for me. You know, picking up the physical book, I think the physical book will work best for me. That way I can, I'm reading with my eyes, I'm digesting what she's saying, I'm thinking, because if you're listening to it on audio, the narrator is narrating the story so fast, I don't think you have time really to really fully digest what she's trying to put down, right? Without having to go back. So I have tried to read this book in the last 3 months. I actually had to go out and buy another copy because I don't know where my other copy is, a older edition. But this one is a newer one, and it's really pretty cover. And so this is Sula. This is one of her beloved books. And so I think I'm going to start with this one. No guarantee, but I do want to read at least one Toni Morrison in 2026. And lastly, I want to focus on these 3 authors here on the screen. Will I read from more authors? Yes, I will. But I want to at least read 3 books from these 3 authors in 2020. James Baldwin is definitely on the list. I have only read 1 book, and I read that book several years ago, over 5-6 years ago, The Fire Next Time. I'm due for a reread of that book because that book was definitely brilliant. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So the books that I have from James Baldwin, I've got, did I order Giovanni's Room? I think I may have ordered just recently Giovanni's Room. I have Go Tell It on the Mountain. I've got Fire Next Time, The Fire Next Time, but we won't be doing a reread of that just yet. I want to read another book that I've never read. And then I've got, yeah, If Beale Street Can Talk. I also have his autobiography, and ideally what I want to do is to read his autobiography first. I want to know his full story. I want to know his full story. He does talk a lot about, you know, his upbringing and of course, in the civil rights era, in The Fire Next Time, and how he felt about that, and all of that. He talked about that, but I really want to know like the ins and outs of his life. And so I hopefully we'll be starting with his autobiography, ideally, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. Then Philippa Gregory is one of the authors that I want to get into. I do have Tidelands. This is book number 1 in a series. Philippa Gregory, she writes historical fiction, like Regency, I want to say Regency pieces, period pieces, centering the woman in the story. The woman has all the power, which I love that she does that. I love she does that. Haven't read anything from her. This will be my first read from her. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. And seeing how I feel about her writing. I know people have mixed feelings about her, but you know, whatever. Okay, I'm going to form my own opinion. And then the last author that I want to get into in 2026 is Bernice McFadden. I've already started her memoir, Firstborn Girls, and y'all, I am loving it. By the time you see this video, I will have finished that book. I'm listening to it on audio, but I got like maybe three chapters in, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm buying this book. So I went on to Amazon, and the book was $11. Okay, $11 for a hardback. I am not a hardback girl, but I was like, you know, for $11, a hardback, yeah, no brainer. So I went ahead and purchased it. It hasn't arrived yet, but I do have it because I am loving the audio. I'll finish it up on audio, I believe. And I'll tell you more about it in another video. So loving that. So those are the 3 authors that I want to focus on. Of course, Daniel Black is someone that I am definitely going to be continuing on in 2005 to read more of his book. Thank you so much for all who have supported me in 2025 and will continue to support my little channel in 2026. I hope you guys again have a blessed new year, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.